This is Miss Pink Chihuahua. I really like her, so she just inspired me, guys. I watch YouTube, and yeah, go subscribe to her because she's cool. Talks about some of the stuff I watch, and she just inspired me to kind of, because I don't know where to start with my story, and I just realized I got to start. Let me push pause real quick. Pause. I got to start where it began, right? And that was from when I was a child, like where I was born. I'm a baby to three of us. My mom had three children. My mom and dad, I should say. My mom basically raised all three of us kids, mostly all, basically since I can only remember. My dad was there until I was 8. And there's a lot to it, so that's why I take a breath, because to know me, Kimberly, and guys, I'm gonna get a new camera. I'm like actually using my phone, and I'm trying to actually be a better YouTuber. So I've got an actual camera by the grace of God. I was able to get it on credit, which I'll pay back. But you know what? It's just like, if you want to start something, you got to have the tools. And so that's on its way. It's not like a really expensive camera, but it has like external microphone, remote, and I don't think it comes with a tripod, which I'd like to get because I'm actually holding the camera right now. My arm just gotten tired. But so anyways, I am 45 years old, young, and yes, I have braids. I jump around. Let me fix my camera. It's like getting crazy. See, I'm in the camera. Anyways, I jump around. I'm Miss Random, and if you get to know me, that's how I am. That's how my brain operates. I'm not really like filtered in a way. So, and my family, I have family that are special needs. I'm not saying that I am, but maybe I could be on the spectrum, and so, but they're nonverbal, and I'm not gonna say who, because for their own protection, it's not my business to talk. But I know firsthand about autism and special needs and things like that, and that's what I actually want to do one day. I do have a college degree. It's associates in general studies, so I can generally do whatever I want. But I'm actually a stay-at-home mom, and I'm on disability. I've never really shared that, mentioned that yet. I haven't always been on disability, but if you know my story, you kind of get a glimpse of. I've been to prison. I had my. Let me just breathe. How many minutes do I have? I had my daughter, Sanea Lily. She would be the middle daughter because I've been pregnant 3 times, 2 successful, and that's my ring. I'm showing off my ring. Yeah, that's my engagement ring, and that's my promise ring, the one with the emeralds, which is my birthstone, and then this one, from my lovely Richard. We're engaged. I call him my husband, but we're not like legally there yet, and it's in the works. It's just, we've been together for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in April, and so we just live each day. We just bought a house. Well, he did. But anyways, like, I want to get back to the first part. I got lots to say, and I'm going to get a camera, and when it comes, I'll have it set up, and I can actually do it better, zoom in, zoom out, have probably better sound. I've been trying to just, let this channel grow organically, and so that way, maybe if something comes of it, great, but if not, God has placed me where I'm at, and I'm not needing for anything. And I feel like my story's unique. And the reason why I just was inspired by Miss Pink Chihuahua, it says something else at the end. I can't, my eyes aren't the best, but she's really nice. She covers Gypsy RoSe. And that's kind of what I'm leading into. Gypsy RoSe, I have a tight connection to her because when I first heard about her when she was in the media, before I started watching and before she got out of prison, I watched the act over and over, and it wasn't just me, it was my sibling as well. And again, I won't say for sure, but they also felt like Munchausen by proxy. I can relate. Now, I don't know if my mom has that, and I can speak because, she is my mother and she plays a big role in this, and so does my siblings, but mostly my mom and my father, like your environment you grew up in. And my mom did the best she could with what she had because my dad died of a heroin overdose at the age of 8. I didn't even know he did heroin. I knew he was a bad alcoholic. I knew he smoked marijuana and he partied and he was unhappy, but it wasn't like that always. He fell off an oil rig when I was very young. Prior to that, he was in the military. Prior to that, while in the military, he was medically discharged because of his alcoholism. And prior to that, the people that adopted him, my grandparents, may they rest in heaven, peace with God, they had a liquor store. And like, you ever heard the term of you literally can love your kids to death, nearly to death, or to death? I have experienced that firsthand with my own mother. And not that she intended to do, it's just the way she was raised, the way we were raised. It was like okay to give your children like certain things. I mean, I ended up doing meth with my mom at one point, but prior to that, and before I turned 17 and everything got really crazy, because 17 is the year that things really changed for me, and I was having very bad ovarian cysts. And I'm going to probably stop this at like 10 minutes because I still have to download it and I don't have like a lot of memory still. But I just feel like there's a lot to tell, and I feel like I need to do more of telling my story because that's why I'm on this channel. It's not just to entertain. I like really have a story to tell, and I wanted to write a book about what I've been through so that maybe I can help. Because let me just say, my mom gave me my first Vicodin, and with everything that I've been raised and been around, I had already tried marijuana, I already tried drinking, I already tried meth at that young age. Not at my mom, but with my friends and people. And at that moment, my mom didn't do any drugs with me. She just smoked pot in the house that I lived in. But I knew that she was a cool mom. And so, yeah, it wasn't unheard of that she offered me a Vicodin. And in that Vicodin, I was scared. I said, no, Mom, I don't want it. I'm afraid I don't want to end up like Dad. And I hadn't developed any addictions at that point yet. The closest one I would say is I almost feel like I was an alcoholic at age 14 because I was always asking people for $2 to buy a 40. Literally every weekend. My next door neighbors, they were above the age, and I hung out with them. My grandparents owned the house. They didn't know, but my mom knew a little bit. But anyways, the first Vicodin, and I told her I didn't want it. She said, no, Kimmy, it's okay, you're in pain. And instead of taking me to the emergency room to have me look at, because I was having ovarian cysts that were literally bursting, and no wonder the Tylenol and everything she offered didn't work, because I needed to go to the hospital. But she just had a lot on her plate. She worked so hard, and so that's why I can't say I would have had it any different. I couldn't say that my mom didn't love me with all the love, but she also had ways of dealing with things that was unhealthy that she was taught, and it was just passed down the line. And then by the grace of God, and that's what I'm going to stop at, because he's the first, the last, the always. Had he not, and my dad in heaven, because my dad did better for me in heaven than on earth. And there's another story for that, but that's a piece of me. I'm not going to even edit any of this. I'm just going to push it through because this is me raw. And I want you guys to know, if you can subscribe to my channel, I like to do fun things. I like to share, but my moral of doing this is to show I have been down to the pits of literally feeling like I sold my soul. And as we all know, if you believe in Jesus, he died for our salvation. So there's nothing that can separate him nothing can separate us from his salvation. I say the full hour prayer every day, and I believe it. I believe it. And he's put me to where I'm at, and I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be able to tell you my story. So I don't want to get all emotional, but it's real, it's raw, and I've got so much to share. And if you want to hear anything about me, it'll go through organically. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe unless you want to, but if you subscribe, that'll help me grow. And I'm going to get a camera. And yeah, I cry because it's important to me that you guys may see that through God we can do anything, but you have to come to a spot where you become only reliant on Him and not on what you've been taught. And He will put people in your life, regardless if the people that was birthright given to you could do it. Because I love my mom, and I love my dad, and I love that I was born, and I love that I was put through what I was put through. But I'm given a chance to possibly make my daughter and my son's life easier by my experience. And I just want to share it with you. And I have so much to share. And also Richard, my fiance, soon to be husband one day, he's got a lot of the same stories. We grew up the same way, same side of town, same, a lot of things. And that's why I want to just say, that's what I got it tattooed on my arm is the Proverbs 3:5-6, I think it is. It's trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Because if you have believed in Him and all the way, He will guide your steps. And yeah, that's all I got to say. God bless. I hope you guys heard what I had to say. I'll share more, and there's a lot. And again, I'm random, and I just go, I'm unfiltered, raw, and real. All right. And I'll just say, there's so much, and it's not for me, it's to glorify Him and to show that if we do it by the way that we were supposed to, anything can happen. Anything and everything. Miracles. Have a good day.